Good morning and welcome to Galactic Soul Healing. My name is Sonia. I have Sirian guides who have been assisting me with these oracle readings. So today it's going to be Sirian oracle messages. Okay. Now I was just doing a walking meditation on the beach this morning. Big thing came up, and that was vitally important for people to start doing this, and I have to just bring this closer to just show you first of all. So grounding for in order to relax and de-stress. Okay. Now grounding is comprised of a few things. Now I've been guided to talk about this topic because it's becoming more and more imperative and vital and critical that people start doing this. Okay. Now I'm just going to jot down some points under here, and then we'll do a couple of stacks with these decks here, which I'll show you in a second. So the grounding comprises of earthing. Okay, earthing, that is so faint, I can't believe it. Earthing, which is standing on the earth, sitting on the earth, or lying on the earth. Okay, we're not talking, although it can be grounding to lie down in a house, in a home or a building, but it's even more effective if you can go out in a natural environment and do that. Okay, so let's just try this one. Earthing. Right, so there you're getting the benefits of the natural electromagnetic energies from the earth, okay, which are very natural. Okay, so this is electromagnetic EMF, we're going to call that, but it's natural EMF. It's not the man-made EMF. Okay, it's electromagnetic. It's not, because sometimes the EMFs that are created by man, like through technology and stuff, are more electrical than magnetic, because there's a special, the earth has a special electromagnetic balance of those energies, because there's electrical and there's magnetic stuff happening. Okay. Obviously if you get overly in the electrical stuff, it's like it doesn't help us to balance out our own EMF, okay, because we have electromagnetic fields around us as well. Now the other component is this fresh air component. So we're just going to pop in here fresh air, but now it has an oxygenizing effect. Now we need fresh oxygen in order for cell regeneration, cellular repair and healing to happen on a physical level. Okay. Now, as you know, the mental, emotional, physical and spiritual are all interconnected. So you can probably pretty much gather that if you are experiencing lots of fresh oxygen outside in a relatively unpolluted area, okay, as natural as possible, that you're probably going to experience also some, if your physical body is benefiting, you're also going to probably experience some emotional benefits as well, and perhaps mental benefits, okay, and spiritual benefits, okay, because all of that, it affects all of your energy bodies, okay, they're all interconnected. And the chakras, of course, are the energy body, the energy part of the energy body. We have the meridians, we also have the aura, okay. And so when we're talking about EMF, okay, we're talking about energy, okay, so this is almost an energetic information reading that we're going to get from the cards. It's about, how can we relax and de-stress, but by utilizing the natural environments, the natural fresh air that we've been given, because we are created not only as spiritual beings but as nature beings, okay? And the other thing that Spirit wanted me to emphasize here was that I need to get some more of these, but also that the natural cycles. So they're even suggesting to just say, even just at a basic level, to just kind of start to really become more appreciative of this night and day thing. Okay? It's just basic, people, night and day. But people are getting confused as to what night and day is supposed to be for. Okay? Night, for instance, they're saying that in the morning and in the evening you can have a bit of a daily ritual. So, for instance, something really basic, okay, might be if you get up sort of, when the sun's sort of coming up or just a bit after that, and you can actually just go outside briefly and just kind of say a little prayer regarding the sunrise, or just being grateful for the sun coming up, and perhaps just think about your day and what's going to happen, and just having some positive intent for that. The other thing, at the night, in the evening, they're suggesting instead of just staying inside for hours and hours on your computer and experiencing a disconnect from nature, they're saying to take out a little bit of time, maybe 20-30 minutes, or maybe even 15 at least, to just go out at some point in the evening, either early evening or whenever you feel is appropriate, and perhaps just look up at the stars. You could even start to do some astronomy. They're even suggesting, people want to get telescopes and start just looking outside of there, just to put their own situation in perspective a little more. But they're also just saying, just saying a prayer at the end of the day. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the stars, and I thank you that thank you for giving me this galactic experience, because we are all galactic beings and we're all in this together. So it's really just basic night and day stuff. But what they're sort of saying is that if we start tapping into those nature cycles, it can be quite earthing and grounding. And guess what, people? This actually will help us to relax more and de-stress, because de-stress equals disconnect, and the disconnect is the disconnect that you have from your own naturalness, your own connection to nature, your connection to natural cycles, okay? Because there's a lot of people are experiencing a lot of issues around sleep. So like I said, Spirit are trying to alert me to this thing that people are forgetting, that the night time is also for rest and for sleep and for rejuvenation. It's not for staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning and then waking up after midday, because basically you're just going to experience a disconnect. You're not going to be able to tap into your natural cycles and your whole being, your soul, if you keep doing that. Because the other thing too is, if you're staying up really, really late at night, they're also saying that a lot of people are putting their attention outside of themselves, and they're actually looking to the media and at people outside of themselves. That is not going to help you with your own soul awareness. It's not going to help you to de-stress. If anything, it's going to cause you more and more stress, because the more and more sleep that you lose and the more disconnect you have, the more stressed you're going to get, the more meaningless your life is going to feel, and the less and less likely it is that you're going to find what your soul purpose is. Okay? So they're saying this is really important. Really important, people. So let's get to the cards. I'll just chat briefly as I'm shuffling them. So, to do all this, it's going to affect people mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Okay? And like a lot of my readings, a lot of the themes are on, whole-souled, because we are galactic spiritual beings. Okay? We're not really designed to be little things that are going to become like screens. Please don't become like a screen or just like a receptor of a screen constantly, because you're actually a human being with a lot of other stuff going on that if you can start to activate and become and wake up to and become aware of, okay, your life will become a lot happier and you'll start to feel human and connected and a part of society, and you'll have a purpose and a meaning that will be really fulfilling, fantastic, and will create a lot of joy and happiness in your life. Who doesn't want more joy and happiness in their lives? Now, the cards we're going to use are animal dreaming, because animals are beautifully grounding. And the other thing I'm just going to pop in there, spirit, it's saying to me, people might like to do some wonderful meditations, explore, look into their animal spirit guides. Okay? And of course the American Indian culture, even Aboriginal culture, there are a lot of Indigenous cultures that can help you with that. See? Like we're going to be learning from other cultures here, because as we know, with the DNA thing that came in, it's a little bit like, well, that was a little bit of a wake-up call, wasn't it? Because it's like, well, we all have a really fantastic, wonderful heritage of a plethora of cultures, really. And let's start to really tap into that even more and bring it into our lives, and it'll make it can help to make your life more interesting and meaningful and happy. This one is the Mists of Avalon. I've chosen these cards because there's a lot of nature images in here, a lot of things like sacred places that you can go to, sacred environments, and beautiful imagery as well. Yeah. Now, we also have today is the Green Witch Tarot. These cards also have a lot of natural images in them, and I also just want to pop in there that traditionally the witches were kind of, as we know, considered the devil, persecuted, and all the rest of it. My little personal belief and my research and what I've been kind of downloads I've had is that they were actually quite peace-loving. They were really just people that were quite connected to nature and really kind of worked in the more like in a medicinal or a healing way. Okay, and that there was just suspicion created around it because people that didn't understand what they were doing kind of became fearful of it. And as you know, fear is one of those things that can just snowball out of all proportion, and before you know it, people are getting burned at the stake, which is just really bad. But anyway, I've popped, these are in here today, and we've got Wildwood Tarot, which is very nature connected as well. Obviously, the wild wood, so it's the woods and the forests and things like that. So, let me start to shuffle. Just take these out of the decks, out of the packs, just to make sure I've got all of them. And yeah, so it's going to be very nature-based today. Okay, so, and this is because I remember doing another reading similar to this a little while back, because we need, to return to our natural, our natural essence, or what our natural soul is about, is really important for our well-being. And the other thing too is that, we were created to live with nature, in harmony with nature, so it makes sense to sort of start thinking along the lines of, look, maybe we need to hang out in nature more. It's probably got some clues for us in terms of, how we can live, maybe even the things that we need to be contemplating, perhaps little rituals that we can use to enhance our appreciation of nature and of the natural cycles. And the natural world includes things like the stars, the sun, the moon, obviously you've got all the different types of natural environments, like forests, countryside. You've got parks and lakes, beaches, scrublands, plains and fields, and I mean you can probably think of a whole lot of others as well. And it's, I think I remember saying once that, find a picture of some natural environment which you can use to meditate. But Spirit are also saying now that, we need to go the next step. People need to actually start getting out on the earth and actually putting their feet on the earth, walking on it, standing on it even, sitting under a tree perhaps, or even lying, on a beautiful big expanse of lawn somewhere. They're also saying if you're going into a park in the middle of the city, that's obviously a little better than being in a building, particularly if there are trees there. But it's even better if you can kind of move out of the city area possibly and go to perhaps a country town or a country place where there are even less buildings, because they're kind of saying that where there are buildings there are generally Wi-Fi, and of course there's mobile phone towers that are not necessarily conducive to us restabilising and energising our electromagnetic fields and getting that proper balance of electrical and magnetic energy. Okay. So yeah, and they're also saying people work a lot in offices and things like that. They would have to pay particular attention to taking care of their electromagnetic field balance when they're not in that environment. Of course, they need to kind of just recalibrate the field by going to more natural environments and just grounding out. Okay, these are too hard to do that with. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to cut the decks and then start with the 2-stack reading that we're going to do. So Spirit, just wanting to thank you in advance for my guides for just directing me to do a reading on this theme today, and also just start to request that you help me to explain or give the information in an appropriate way, and also to assist the viewers with taking in the information. Just also emphasising again that if something resonates, that's fine, you can look into it. If things I say don't resonate with you, you don't of course need to take them on. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, and I actually really like these cards. They're very natural colours, aren't we? We've got yellows, browns and greens here. So this is a very nature reading, and I knew that a while back I'd be doing something very nature based, because we do need to really start connecting, and particularly if you do have mental health issues, obviously it's beneficial to talk to someone about what you're going through, but also to look after yourself energetically. It's really beautiful to a lovely self-care thing to go into natural environments, but the natural environment will filter through your mental body, which is sort of the layer of the aura that's furthest out. Then you have your that's the spiritual body, is the furthest out. Then you have the mental body layer of the aura. Then you have your emotional layer, and of course your etheric, which is the physical, pertains more to the physical energy. And of course the chakras are all connected into those different layers as well, which is another part of the energy body. And you have meridians as well. So the electromagnetic field of the earth that's beautifully balanced will help to balance all of that for you. Now let's look at these in combination. I'm just going to hold this up while I have a sip of coffee. Now, isn't that interesting? Healing. That is beautiful. that is well, of course, it's healing. Okay, to actually do grounding is healing. But like I said, just keep in mind it's those components of earthing, which is standing on the earth. You have the fresh air aspect. Okay, and then you also have like the natural cycles. But the other thing too in there that we could also put is that, and this is just eluding me because the kookaburra, this is an Australian bird that has an interesting laugh. Okay, it sort of goes, oh, ah, ah. So it sounds, we always say it's, kookaburra laughing. So in here, we need to actually put, a lot of natural environments are higher frequency. Okay, so we actually just need to pop in there high frequency, because it will also assist you to get into a higher frequency and mental and emotional state. Okay, if you're feeling particularly low, okay, it probably take the edge off. Like, obviously I'm not saying it's a complete cure-all if you're having major issues with things, okay, but it will assist you. And the thing is, any little bit of assistance that you can get sometimes is great. So high frequency natural environments. Okay, so grounding is not about dropping your frequency, okay, it's about earthing into the natural EMF, which is going to actually raise your frequency. Okay, and this is why it's healing, which is just awesome. I really love that card. Oh wow, we have the dragons. This is really powerful, people. This is awesome. Now the cards, it says the dragon. Now, wow, the words around the outside are strength and power, integration, and Pathfinder. Strength and power. Now, I'm getting chills again because, like I said, this is to do with energy, right? It's empowering your energy field to stand on the earth, do something, on the earth, even gardening. Okay, if you're out gardening with your hands, you're literally probably kneeling or sitting on the earth or standing on the earth, and you've got your hands in nature, either doing something with the plants or in the ground. Okay, that's really grounding. Okay, the more parts of your body in connection with nature or the ground, the better. But it's strengthening, so it will strengthen. The natural EMF field of the earth will strengthen your field. Okay, you will feel stronger, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And the other thing about the oxygenation, of course, which is also very healing and regenerative for the cells, which was, kind of implied in here. But the oxygen filters in to strengthen and to strengthen your whole being as well. Okay. The other thing you can do is, if you're exercising outside and you're breathing in that fresh oxygen a lot, right, that's also strengthening and empowering for your whole physical, emotional, mental, spiritual being, right? Now, Pathfinder. This is also a card about balance, I believe, because there are two dragons here. Often that's balancing two opposites, and it kind of almost looks like a yin-yang in the middle there. But Pathfinder, it's almost like a shamanic thing. Okay, so this is also alluding to a shamanic path, which is to do with, like I said, it's energetic. This is about energetic healing, grounding to relax and de-stress your energy body. But it filters back into, concretely into your physical body. It filters into how you're feeling. It filters into your thought patterns as well. Okay, particularly if you can make grounding a regular thing. Okay, regular and frequent if possible. That is just awesome. And integration, that is probably what I just mentioned then, was if you can integrate this into your lifestyle daily, if not daily, every other day. I mean, I guess some people have to do it once a week, but if you're doing it once a week, you might want to just go out for a whole day, like 6 hours somewhere, like just start doing some hiking, or I don't know, just daily, just integrate this, okay? And it's strengthening and empowering. See, this spirit just really emphasizing this, and look, and it's healing. These cards are just awesome. Sorry, I need a bit more coffee. But like I've said before, some of these images might mean something else for you. Okay, this may actually represent, this could be like 2 dragons fighting, or they're actually 2 dragons that are in a partnership, okay, working together. So this might represent challenges for you that you would need to overcome in order to do this. Okay, or if it's working in partnership, it might be something that you like to do with a friend, or with your partner, or with your family. You might go, okay, let's all go out and do some of this for our well-being. But see, that might represent different things for you. Let's look at this one. This is the Green Witch Tarot, which is the 2 of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? We had the 2, we've got the symbology of the 2 again. Now, the Pentacles, interestingly enough, is the suit that represents the earth element. Isn't that just fantastic? I really love the synchronicities in these cards sometimes. This is the earth element, and look at this. This is a beautiful, because it looks like he's in the countryside, obviously, and there's a barn there. Okay, and often the number 2 means the beginnings of a project, or something that you are going to be doing. And he looks pretty happy there, like maybe, he's juggling or playing with the pentacles, which are carved out of wood. Okay, now that's another thing you could do that's grounding. You might like to work with natural elements in a type of craft. So you might like to do some work with wood or clay, okay, or even stone or something like that. Even collecting things, obviously if it legally, that's okay. But this is also alluding to, going out in the countryside, having some happy times. There's a plant pot there. There's also a bit of a stormy sky in the background there. So it might be that, there might be a bit of a challenge for you to get this happening, but, it's going to be rewarding, and it'll be worth it. This is why I really love these cards. They're very nature-based. It's like country lifestyle, but going back to nature as well, and living closer with nature. That is just awesome. And I can see a little fox in there. So that's alluding to like a little spirit animal type of thing. And the other thing too, up here on the door, is I've just seen the letter Z. That's like a little inset there with the wood planks. Now Z are typically the thing called the Z's, right, which is the sleeps. Like if you say, look, I'm just going to catch a few Z's, I'm just going to go, have a sleep. So it's kind of also saying that if you do actually get out to the country, you'll have it will be relaxing for your whole being, and it may even well help you to sleep better. Like if you go to the country and you do something physical, or you're out in the earth a lot more, you're getting more fresh air, okay? The interesting thing is that your whole body becomes more relaxed, okay? And then if you have a beautiful meal or something at night, maybe a glass of wine, I don't know, you might not do that, but you might find that you just fall asleep beautifully. If you can avoid or restrain or abstain from jumping on your mobile phone for a couple of hours, or even don't take your laptop, that will even assist you even more to get some Z's, possibly. So that's an awesome card about really just having fun in nature, and maybe having a bit of a holiday. Let's check this one. Oh wow! Now he came up before in another reading. It's called the Woodwood. And this is a card that is the equivalent of the old tarot Justice card. Okay, so it's also saying that like I said before, justice is about, justice prevailing, or the right thing, or being fair, the fairness, but also effectiveness, and I think sort of more ease of functioning. You could even say it's effective. For something to be like just, it is more right. So basically, it's like if you can get back into this nature cycles, you will start to feel more right within yourself. You will start to feel more more centered is probably the word I'm looking for. You'll start to feel more centered and relaxed, and you'll go, previously I used to feel like, things were awry and something was amiss. But now it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm more settled. Okay, and things are where they should be. Okay, I'm not saying you do this once and it will all be awesome. You need to keep doing it over time. Okay, it might only be a few weeks that you need to do it to start and notice the difference. Okay, some people might take a bit longer, but yeah, and that's a very natural image as well. See how he's like wearing skins, he's out in nature. This staff here looks like it's probably been carved out of wood. He's wearing animal skins and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying you have to go out and shoot animals and make yourself some clothes, but obviously he is obviously living more in connection to nature. Okay, which is kind of what we're alluding to here. There's probably something else that will come out of that image as well for you. And even see the animals here. This looks like a wild animal, but it looks tame. So it's sort of like it's living more in harmony with animals as well. There's a bird back here, which is kind of cool. They represent like a higher consciousness. So there's almost the two, you have a four-legged animal here and the flying bird. So this is alluding to high frequency, which we mentioned. The higher consciousness, higher frequency of the natural environment as well. So these are really awesome. Spirit's really saying to us here, it's going to be healing, there'll be happy times. You're going to feel better and more centered in yourself if you can do this grounding, and it's going to be beautifully healing. The kookaburra, also a bird, is a higher consciousness. Okay, so it's high frequency. The dragons here is very powerful. This is the empowerment, strength, integration, and Pathfinder, which was which is also alluding to perhaps going out into scrubland. Like, I don't want to suggest that people go and blaze their own trail because you might get lost. But obviously you have a compass, you might know where you're going. But path, just walking along a country path. Or you can even, it might be like a special spiritual path or a lifestyle path that you want to take, a new lifestyle path, to just kind of slowly over time, just kind of get back into nature as much as you can. And like I said, it's energetic and it's shamanic to be in connection with nature and being more and help your energy body more. Okay, because shamans work on the premise that everything is energy. Okay, and spirit are actually saying to me that in order to de-stress and relax, humans really need to start utilizing the more balanced electromagnetic fields of the earth. They need to place themselves there so that their own field can start to balance, rejuvenate, and become more centered. Because at the moment, when people's fields are all over the place, okay, they're experiencing stress, they're experiencing disconnect, upset, frustration, and a whole lot of other low vibrational emotion states can come in on top of that more easily, okay, like fear, despair, and all sorts of things, right? They're saying get back onto the earth and start to heal, do some healing. These 4 cards are just awesome. You're welcome to take a screenshot of that. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm going to grab the next stack, have a quick sip of coffee while I show you the next card on this theme. Wow, that is awesome. That is a cassowary bird, which looks a little bit like an emu. I believe it doesn't fly. Nevertheless, it is a bird, so it may well, be a higher consciousness. But it has the feet on the earth, and it's very strong. Okay, but the word under here is respect. So, Spirit's saying not only can we, get some healing from this beautiful earth energy, okay, but we also, first of all, kind of really need to respect that. You need to kind of respect the fact that is there. We need to respect that we've been given the natural environments. We need to respect our own naturalness, our own nature beingness. Okay, but also by connecting to Earth, we're actually respecting ourselves. We're actually respecting our energy body a lot more. We're respecting our humanness. We're respecting our own souls by doing that. Okay, so this bird is almost like saying, stand on the earth with higher consciousness. They have very strong legs, okay? So it's a strength to be gained and higher frequency to be gained and more centeredness, more meaning, more happiness, okay? Now, from the Mists of Avalon deck, we have Igraine. Now that's interesting. That's a feminine, obviously a feminine image, and she has a dog, which is an animal. Okay, and obviously animals are quite close to nature, right? Now the words around the outside are feminine power, beauty, motherhood, and acceptance. So, and that's really awesome. Like in the background there, we also have a large body of water, okay, and there is a hill or a coastline here. And isn't that interesting that there's a building here? She's in the building, but there is a view of a natural environment here. So even if I was just looking straight at that image, it's almost like Spirit saying, this is what a lot of people are doing. They're actually in a building like this, but they're not participating in the natural environment out here. At this particular moment, she's not even looking at it. Even though, there is like an animal in the building that is perhaps like a protector or but it could be that this is a building that's obviously it's surrounded by natural environment, okay, but I think it's just a warning from Spirit to say, look, just don't become overly fixated on being indoors. Like, try not to do that a lot. Even motherhood, acceptance, beauty, feminine power. So it can also be saying that tendency to withdraw, which is, say if you're going into your mind and your intuition, okay, and you are in a building, obviously there are times when you can do that, but it's kind of saying don't forget that you need to look after your energy body as well. I mean, obviously I know that we can do meditation on our energy body, but it's even more energetic. It's probably even more to do with physical, when you can actually go out. It's physical healing, but it filters right through into your chakras, into your spiritual being as well, to actually get that real connection to Earth more so. And it will lift your frequency probably more than being in a building. Okay. This is just sort of highlighting that the contrast and the differences between being in a building and being in the natural environment, because this is the body of water here, which is also to actually swim in the sea. Okay, it's also really good energetically. We might come back to this one. Let's look at this one. Now, that is fascinating. I was hoping that might come up, that card. This is harvest. Isn't that fantastic? So this is about, see all those natural fruits and vegetables there? And there's even like little spirit kind of nature beings here, nature spirits. This is also about, if you can, start to grow some of your own fruit and veg. And basically kind of trying to eat some more plant-based foods. Because that will raise your frequency. Okay? Plus, so it's high frequency, and often when there's fruits and vegetables have generally a higher water content in them, so they can be quite rejuvenating for cells, like cellular rejuvenation. Okay, a lot of healing components in vegetables and fruits, particular ones you might want to look into as well. And also the beautiful thing about this is that it also kind of has a bit of a segue into natural cycles. So if you're planting and growing things, okay, there's usually a time to plant and a time to harvest, and yeah, so that's also alluding to the natural cycles, okay. And the other beautiful thing there too is that if you have some stuff like that growing in your garden or in pots or whatever, it is actually a really nice feeling to go and pick some fresh vegetables and put them into a salad or something like that. It's really beautiful, and that helps you to get connected to nature as well, okay, and it will raise your frequency. We grow a few fruits and vegetables here, and it's it's awesome. Even just, you don't have to be able to, have a market garden in your backyard. Just a few things that you grow. Well, it's just lovely to start doing that. Another, see the country setting here in the background. Okay. Country house, obviously out in the country. There's actually an animal, I think that's a goat there. Yeah, there's a little dude there holding an apple. All sorts of fruits and veggies here. This guy's got a flask. It might be full of water or homemade wine or homemade beer, perhaps. Yeah, that is awesome. Let's see what this one says. It says 9 of bows. You know what the word next to this one is? 9 of bows. It says respect again. The bows is the suit corresponding to the spiritual in this deck, which is the equivalent of wands in the other basic tarot. So this is, what was the number again? 9 of bows. Okay, so that is a number about helping, healing, and assisting. But look, respect. That guy there, it's look like he's type of green man. He's got horns, but it's almost like, he's. If I look at that, I'm sort of going, he's sort of saying, you got to respect nature. You need to respect the cycles. You need to respect your right to survival, and in this day and age, it is energetic survival. Because believe it or not, if you're feeling a lot of emotional overwhelm, that could well be a lot of energies coming from outside of you that are affecting your field. So this is a card actually about respecting your energy body, respecting your right and your need to clear yourself, to clear your energy field, which is by standing in the natural higher frequency electromagnetic fields of the earth. Okay, and you can even say a bit of a prayer. to release any low vibrational energies, entities, influences and attachments that are in your field. By your consciousness and your intent, you can actually release that stuff. Okay, this is our biggest challenge in modern day, is it seems like we have to spend a lot of time releasing stuff so that we can just get back to our center. Okay, a lot of us spend a lot of time doing that. And then we've got to go back and do the stuff, and then we've got to go and clear ourselves again. So it's saying to respect that need, respect the fact that you're a nature being, that you're an energy being, that these things, you need to be doing this stuff of earthing, putting yourself in fresh air, in high frequency natural environments, and becoming part of more of the natural cycles. I mean, you can bet your bottom dollar that this guy is, getting up when the sun gets up, and he's probably sleeping when the sun goes down, because, unless he's doing a bit of hunting before he goes to bed. But, this looks a little bit, almost reminds me of the shaman card in this deck as well. But isn't it interesting that Spirit is just, this is 4 different decks. Like, the chances of 2 cards of respect coming out together is just very large odds. But the other thing Spirit's saying is that people perhaps need to just respect this message. I'm not the only person saying this type of thing, okay? There's been a lot of even research done, and even in some countries, I believe it's Japan and probably other countries as well, where they literally have this, it's a form of therapy called forest bathing, which is people like bathing. They don't go out naked in the forest, right? They go out in the forest to literally bathe in the beautiful natural, negative ion air, and the beautiful electromagnetic fields, the beautiful energies, the probably beautiful natural spiritual energies of that nature of the forest, okay? And people walk around there for hours, and they do it regularly, and they experience healing benefits, which is what I'm talking about. Benefits physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, because you start to go, well, my soul is actually part of nature, and I'm a very natural being. This is what everyone is, okay? Now, I mean, this almost looks like a card of respect as well. Motherhood, that's kind of alluding to cycles a little bit. Beauty, obviously we can see beauty in nature, okay? And in the cycles. Acceptance is really accepting this night and day thing, okay? Accepting that when it's time to go to sleep, you really just have to accept that for my own highest good, I need to rejuvenate my cells rather than pushing myself to stay up in front of a screen for another 4 hours. It's just accepting. See, feminine power. This is the other thing that with the dragon card, right? So this is feminine power. This was actually mentioned power as well. So you will start to feel stronger and more powerful and more aware of your soul energy and what you're about if you can be more in sync with nature, okay? So it's almost like synchronizing. You know how you can, like sync your device to your phone or sync it to your computer or whatever? It's a little bit like you've got to sync your body field to the earth, because the earth energy is your motherboard, okay? You've got to resync yourself, SYNC, sync your EMF with the EMF of the earth, and you will feel better. Okay, and I think the thing this is alluding to, I've just realised now, of course, traditionally the earth has been kind of described as the feminine energy, okay, whereas the skies and the heavens have been described, and the moon and the stars is more like the masculine energy. So this is why it's interesting now. It's motherhood. So I think it's referring to Earth Mother. And it's really just accepting that she's there. So Gaia is another word for it. Accepting that, Mother Earth is there to nurture. So it's about having the mindset that Earth is here to nurture you, support you, and give you more life. And that's what we're saying here as well. It will enhance literally the energy life within you, but also your purpose life and your connection with your soul, with your galactic self, with all of the aspects of you. Okay, the Earth will help you to do that. The Earth is essential for you to experience your soul connection, and even to tap into higher frequency states and to start to communicate via your spiritual aspect. So your higher self can start to communicate more easily with your guides, your spirit guides, okay? Which is another beautiful thing that we could mention. If you want to do a nice spiritual meditation in nature, basically I'll disclose right here now, is that nowhere else do I get the quality of the communication that I get if I'm in a natural environment. It is really great for that. I get a lot clearer messages coming through from spirit when I'm in nature. I feel more elevation of my own spirit when I'm in nature. Okay? Of course, it may not be the same with everyone, but I'm pretty sure that it's a higher frequency environment, and the spirit is telling me that this will assist everyone if you can get out there. So this is alluding to Mother Earth, and it's also saying to respect. It's saying respect the Earth. That's what this one's saying too. Respect the Earth, but also respect your need to connect to it. Respect your need to sink your energy into the motherboard of the Mother Earth, literally. And this is the beautiful harvest, and almost like the rewards as well that you're going to reap, like mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. The rewards that you are going to experience from earthing more, getting more fresh air, being in this high frequency natural environments, and participating more and more in the natural cycles if you can. The benefits you're going to get are going to be fantastic. Honestly, they're going to be really healing, very healing, empowering. So this card here talks about empowerment, and here as well. Okay. And yeah, it's just awesome. And you're going to feel more right within yourself. You're going to be feeling happier. Okay. Even when challenges come up, like this dark sky back here, okay, you're going to know what to do in order to reset yourself. And you can get a lot of strength from nature. And it's a beautiful. Earth is a beautiful feminine energy because it will receive. You can literally drop anything into the earth. You can clear anything negative. Okay, and you can also clear or release energy back up into unconditional loving source as well to clear your energy. And don't forget all of the other forms of natural healing as well, like you might like to use crystals or aromatherapy or colour therapy in a garden, say, things like that. There's lots of other natural things that you can do, like the natural foods. Okay, that's a really good one. So 53 minutes, I think we might be wrapping it up there, but hopefully some of those images, just hold those for up, hopefully some of these images have prompted you. Maybe you've come up with your own ideas. But, this one, I wasn't sure at the start. And now I'm just like, of course, it's Mother Earth, the respect, and also, just connecting, respecting the animals as well. Feminine power, beauty, the beauty of nature. That's another beautiful thing. It's really emotionally soothing to go out and just look at a beautiful scene, walk up, do a wonderful hike, just enjoy the scenery. It's so awesome, and get all those other benefits as well. And yeah, there we go. I mean, she does look quite content, even though she's a little serious. I mean, there can be contentment there, and also it's quite a strong woman. There's strength as well. But yeah, there we go.
That is awesome. I can't believe how much respect is in there. It's probably bang on. Thank you, Spirit, for those messages. I just really appreciate every time we do this, and I hope that I've explained or talked about those cards in a way that's been helpful. So without any further ado, I think we'll wrap it up. So yeah, ground and do some grounding to relax and de-stress. Okay, earthing, natural and electromagnetic fields, which is what you're going to benefit from. More fresh air, high frequency, and kind of start to involve yourself and integrate the natural cycles a little bit more. Okay, yeah. Okay, awesome. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.